Hey guys, Blended Everything here, and today we have the new AirPods. Here are the new AirPods. They have this nice little look to them. They're a little different. They're a little wider with their case. Anyway, on these AirPods, you have silicone little pieces that will tell you that are made to help with the noise isolation so that the noise cancellation doesn't have to do as much. Along with noise cancellation, so you can be using these in maybe not airplanes, but like loud transportation situations with the ambient noise on. You could also use them in situations where you'd be talking. Just a lot of different things for these AirPods that just make them super convenient and nice and better than the previous ones, and a lot more competitive with the current market. Okay, so I have been using these AirPods for the last 24 hours, and I've gotten a chance to run with them and I have gotten a chance to use them for all different scenarios that my everyday life is going to encounter with AirPods. So I have both these AirPods and the previous version to do a little comparison. I'm gonna make one video out of this because I figured I need to get all of the information in that you guys are gonna want to see whether or not you want to get these AirPods. So pretty much we have the AirPods Pro and the AirPods 2 with the wireless charging. What my goal is here is to identify if these are really that much worse than these, and over the last 24 hours I've kind of already made up a bit of my mind on that, but I'm going to draw it out for you guys graphically so that you can see all of my reasoning behind it. On top of that, I will also be doing a comparison between the SONYWF 1000 something series noise cancellation headphones or wireless earbuds, because those are the biggest competitor and probably the reason that these even came out in the first place. Okay, so here's our board where pretty much everything will be gauged off of. Over here, So here is our board. We have all of the different categories will be up here. All of the different earbuds will be up here. And up here we have our different aspects of what we'll be judging each one on. So over here, if you can't read my handwriting, I'm really sorry. I just don't have very good handwriting. I'm left-handed, but I'm also just really bad at handwriting, so the combination doesn't go great. Anyway, this is noise isolation, noise cancellation, volume, customizability, and looks. So the difference between noise isolation and noise cancellation is this is when you have something that is physically trying to block sound out, and this is when you have electronics trying to block sound out. This is volume. Volume is pretty much just saying how loud your headphones are. Customizability, that pretty much means how much you can tell them to do. Like if you can tell them to adjust the bass, turn up noise cancellation, turn down noise cancellation, or just in the end change a bunch of different settings on the actual sound. Maybe you just have different preferences than others. And then over here, of course, is looks. And with each one, the absolute highest you can get on this is a 50. So with the AirPods Pro, noise isolation is not really, noise isolation is pretty good. So that means if you have literally no technology on inside of this, you will still have a pretty blocked out noise range, like of what you can hear outside of yourself. So I'm gonna give that a 7, I'd say. And then I'll give the SONYWF series an 8 on this, because their tips of the earbuds are a little bit more elongated and definitely a lot more customizable as far as it goes with the different sizes you can put in your ears. With the AirPods 2, I'll give them probably a 4. That's being very nice, actually, but I'll give them a 4 just because they're going to need some points somewhere here. For noise cancellation, the AirPods Pro the AirPods Pro definitely take the cake at a probably 9 out of 10, with the SONYWFs falling closely behind with an 8. Because I could hear people talking with the SONYWFs on, but with the AirPods Pro, when I turned on noise cancellation, I couldn't hear a word anybody was saying. And then with the AirPods 2, noise cancellation is going to get a big fat 0 because that is just not a thing on there. With volume, now this is a big one that AirPods have improved on. The AirPods number 2, they have pretty decent, but I'd give them probably a 6 as far as it goes with the volume. But for over here, for the AirPods Pro, I'd give them probably an 8 because they have very good volume and very good noise isolation, making it so that you don't really lose that much noise in between the earbud and your actual ear. With the SONYWFs, I'm going to give them a higher score too because they have got a pretty good situation with the volume. Or with SONYWFs, I'll probably give them a 7 because I could still hear with noise cancellation completely off on the SONYWFs. I could still hear people talking, and I could still hear like sounds from all around me with the volume completely on. With the volume completely on for AirPods Pro, it hurts my ears immensely. So I do have to give them probably the best on that one. For customizability, definitely the SONYWFs get a big fat 10 because you can customize the bass, the treble, and pretty much anything you want on those earbuds, but you're not gonna have quite as high. But I do feel that with that customizability, you actually lose a little bit of the functionality. So I'm going to give it a 9 there because of the fact that the bass sometimes actually gets a little bit out of hand, and you can kind of start to lose the treble, which they should have probably added in a feature where it won't let you go too much past what the actual speaker inside of the earbud is capable of. With the AirPods Pro, I'll give each one like multiplied times 3 of what the actual customizability is. There's 3 of these. I don't know. I'll probably give them a 6 on customizability because you only have 3 things you can change them to. You can do noise canceling. You can do noise canceling. You can do ambient noise, or you can just turn off the actual electronics. Now, with the AirPods 2, customizability is 0 again because there's nothing you can change on them. For looks, that's all based on opinion, so in reality you should probably change that out. I would say the Sonys definitely take the cake on that as well. But for the final one, I'm actually going to add in everyday functionality. So for everyday functionality, that's pretty much how difficult is it for you to spend your entire day just wearing these and really not having to go back to your phone that much, not having to really spend a whole lot of time pairing these to your devices. How much is that going to take away from your everyday life if you don't have that great functionality that just makes everything easy? So for AirPods 2, this is actually probably the one that the SONYWF will come in last on because although the touch pads are fairly accurate, the problem with them is you do have to put quite a bit of time into pairing them with something, as Apple has pretty successfully managed to pair very easily with any phone, not just Apple phones, even Android. All you have to do is have both AirPods in the case and hold down the back. Now with the WFs, you do have to have both in your ears, and you have to hold down on both sides for 7 seconds or longer, and that is a bit of a pain, I think. So let's go ahead and give the AirPods Pro, because you have that grabby part. So at the bottom here, you can actually have a pressure touch. So the more you press like this, if you press and hold for 3 seconds, you can turn on and off noise cancellation. If you just tap it once, it will stop your music, and you can obviously customize the other features in your settings. So I'm going to give the AirPods Pro probably a 10 for functionality, because I think that they have got some pretty impeccable functionality as far as it goes with just being able to click them on and off, and being able to just change the actual controls. As far as it goes with the SONYWF, you can't really change the controls that easily. You have to go through their app, and it's a lot of work to pair them to other devices. So I'll give them probably a 5. As far as AirPods 2 go, they have the swiping feature, and it's also pretty easy to pair them. So I'll give them a 7. And that leaves a grand total of each one. So with each one of our different headphones here, we have a 40 for the AirPods, just coming in 10 points short of that 50 mark. With the SONYWF, we have a 37, and with the AirPods 2, we have a 17. Now, I could have added in wireless charging, I could have added in some other things. Now, one thing here, actually, I'm going to change down to a 9, because the everyday functionality, now that I think of it, it is kind of sometimes a pain to turn off the noise cancellation quickly, because of the 3-second holding rule in order to stop the noise cancellation. So I'm going to give it a 9 there. The difference of prices is $250, $230, and $200. So why is this one so expensive? I do actually know. I do know why this is so much more expensive. Now, you're paying an extra $30 for a really good actual set of earbuds, but you're paying that extra 20 for something that's kind of been left out of the WF's release, which is wireless charging. Wireless charging is not included on the WF series, but it is included on the AirPods Pro, if you didn't know that. Now, wireless charging is something that I would actually add into functionality, because of the fact that I could just set these down every night on my wireless charging pad next to my toothbrush, and every morning I will come back and they're fully charged. I won't have to plug in a USB-C cable. Now, that being said, I did say USB-C cable. So USB Type-C is what the SONYWFs use. Both of these sets use Lightning, so it kind of counteracts a little bit. But still, I would say wireless charging is a pretty big deal for me. That's why I spent an extra little bit for these AirPods, for that wireless charging case. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and please let me know which kind of headphones you like the most, and which ones you think are the most worthy of their price tag. And don't forget to share with your friends, because, you know, sharing is caring.